Alright, back to another album review. Today's review is on Space Vampires vs. Zombie Dinosaurs in 3D by Psychostick. It's the third studio album from Psychostick and is their first album to feature Matty Resmick on bass. Matty joined the band in 2010 shortly after the release of Digital Appetizer, which is what my previous review was on. Matty is still with Psychostick to this day, and he's a pretty awesome guy. This album was self-produced by and Josh Key did he mixed and engineered the album. I believe this album was recorded at Toxic Recording like most of Psychostick's other material, but I'm not completely sure about this. What I do know is that this album was recorded between 2010 and 2011. November 4th, 2010 is when Psychostick announced during a webcast that they were working on a new album that was to be released in summer of 2011. March 10th, 2011 was when they announced via another webcast that the release date would be around August 2011. And July 12th was when they announced that the release date would be August 16th, 2011 through Rock Ridge Music. 10 days later is when they started taking pre-orders for the album. This allowed for a free download of the song Political Bomb. More on this later. The album itself is mostly centered around comedy metal, but also ventures into alternative metal, hardcore punk, punk metal, and even metalcore. Now let's talk about the songs. This album starts with a skit called Premature Intoxication. This is the first skit on this album. It's the shortest track at only 43 seconds long. The skit is pretty damn funny, and it starts the album off pretty well. After that is Welcome to the Show. It's the first song on the album and is essentially a satire on concerts. There's one part where Rob Kersey tells the audience to start up a mosh pit, and that mosh pits are badass. He also tells them to show their horns before telling them to show their middle fingers. There are some elements of metalcore in this song. Something you should know is that Psychostick sometimes start up their live shows and live streams with this song. The next song is called Sad Face. The song is about not giving a shit about certain things on the internet. What's funny is that it parodies 3 songs at the same time. Ben Intruder's song by Antoine Dotson and the Gregory Brothers. And They're Coming to Take Me Away, Haha by Napoleon XIV. And The Beautiful People by Marilyn Manson. Granted, this was back when people in the rock and metal community still respected Manson, but that's a different story. Anyways, the song is way better and funnier than its source material, especially when it comes to The Beautiful People. The music video was made for the song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. On top of that, this is my favorite song from this album. It followed up with Because Boobs, which was released as a single on August 6th, 2011. As you may have guessed, it's a song about boobs, and Psychostick regularly play it during live streams and live shows. One time they played the song in H flat, and that made the song even funnier. Another time was when they played it while Rob Kersey put on an Arnold Schwarzenegger impression, which just made the song 10 times funnier. There's also a music video that was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. I should mention that the video was filmed in Orlando. The best part is that Psychostick got dozens of strippers to appear in the video, and the strippers were dancing and waving tacos in the guys' faces. However, the video is age restricted, presumably because one of the strippers motorboated another stripper. And it's followed up by a skit called Intervention for a Good Mood. I don't have a whole lot to say about the skit, but it is pretty damn funny. That lays into the next song, which is called Hate Times 8. As you may have guessed, the song is about hating various things. I can relate to the song since there's a lot of things that I hate, such as bigots, shitty weather, slow computers, animal cruelty, scammers, as well as assholes that violate my personal space. Overall, this song is pretty damn funny. It also touches upon hardcore punk, punk metal, and even metalcore. And the next song is called It's Just a Movie, Stupid, where the song is about things that happen in movies but don't happen in real life. If I want to see what inaccuracies are in a movie, I just pull up the movie's IMDb page instead of watching one of those shitty clickbait videos from CinemaSins or its sister channels. Up next is Political Bomb. It's the first single from this album. Preview. Now, people who pre-ordered the album got early access to the single. The single wasn't released publicly until August 15th, 2011, which was the day before the album was released. What's interesting is that Barry Donegan of the math rock band Look What I Did is featured as the political bomb in question. I haven't listened to anything by Look What I Did, but I might check them out someday. Also, a music video was made for the song, and I'll post a link to it in the description. The song partially touches upon alternative metal. After that is That Guy. The skit, that's a reference to the beer song from We Couldn't Think of a Title. So where some guy comes up to Rob and recognizes him as the guy from the beer song. It's also the second shortest track on the album at 80 seconds long. Follow up with 6 Pounds of Terror. The song is instrumental, but you can hear the sound of rats. Next song is called Methane Crescendo. As you may have guessed, it's a song about farts. Yes, Psychostick actually went there and made a song about farts. Now, Psychostick occasionally played the song during live streams and live shows. And let's follow up by My Clingy Girlfriend. I know there's a lot of people who can relate to this song, since a lot of people have been in relationships with people who are overly attached to them. Thankfully, I've never been in one of those. It's also the second longest song on the album at 5 minutes long. And the song is mostly in the realm of alternative metal. Next song is called The Root of All Evil. A song about going to the dentist. A lot of people can't relate to this song since they get nervous when they have a dentist appointment. Whereas I haven't been to the dentist since 2006. Also, the song is pretty damn funny. It also partially touches upon metalcore. After that is Numbers, I Can Only Count to 4. The song is a parody of the song Bodies by Drowning Pool. Personally, I think this song is way better and funnier than its source material. On top of that, the song has a hidden skit where the guys try to come up with a name for the album. Rob suggests Space Vampires versus Zombie Dinosaurs in 3D, and they all agree. To me, this title is absolutely brilliant. There's also a music video that was made, and I'll post a link to it in the description. What's funny is that the video features puppets. In rock and metal music videos that feature puppets are usually hilarious. This one is no exception. It's also one of the most popular songs on the album, and Psychostick regularly play it during live streams and live shows. The album ends with Duh, of course they did outtakes. As you may have guessed, it's a collection of outtakes, which is a tradition for a Psychostick to do when recording a new album. It's also the longest track on the album at 8 minutes and 38 seconds long. My read is that this album peaked at number 24 on the US Billboard Top Hard Rock Albums, and number 45 on the US Billboard Top Independent Albums. What's awesome is that you can still buy a new copy of this album from Psychostick's web store, as well as their Bandcamp page. I'll include links to those in the description. I noticed that this album was met with mostly positive reviews from critics. However, those hipsters at Metal Sucks gave it a negative review. Obviously, they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. As for my opinion on it, I really like this album. It may not be as good as We Couldn't Think of a Title, but I still enjoy it for what it is. Before I end the review, I'd like to give a shout out to the Legit Gamer 91 for supporting my work, helping me with my stories, and being a good friend. I'll link to his channel will be in the description, and I recommend subscribing to it. Anyways, now's the part where I question you. Have you listened to Space Vampires vs. Zombie Dinosaurs in 3D? If so, what are your thoughts on it? What's your favorite song from it? What do you think of the title for this album? Do you think it fits the album perfectly? Let me know in the comments. If you like the video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Be sure to hit the notification bell to notify future uploads. Thanks for watching. I'll be back soon with another review.